Hey, good people. Wonderful, wonderful day to you all. My name is Akin. The first they call me the GCON, the Grand Comedian of Nigeria. And it's gisting with the GCON. It's better to gist. You know, when the world looks gloomy, when everything looks like is going to scatter, when wahala be like say it won't finish you. My only advice to you is leave where you are, go meet someone, start to gist. Because when you gist, you learn. When you gist, your blood pressure goes down. When you gist, the whole world settles around you. Welcome to Gisting with the GCON. My guest today is highly sought after, is known to perform at high-profile events in Nigeria and abroad. He once said that there's no big deal behind his long-staying power. I'm talking about the one and only Akin Tofomowo, down SHUGA BAND. Akin Sugar, gaga. Welcome to the program, my brother.
Thank you,
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay, I know a lot of things other people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Your father was a chief judge.
My father was a justice.
Was a justice
of the Federal High
Court.
Court.
The Federal High Court.
Yes.
You went to school.
I tried a little bit.
You now decided that a son of a judge, a graduate, will be doing Agbe up and down. Why did you choose music?
You sounded like Bisoye just now. Why did I choose music? It's a big question. I think music chose me.
Mm.
And for me, I call it a happy accident. Because here I was with all that laden talents as a singer. But of course, the opportunities were not there to be able to showcase all that. So, I wanted to do something, but what exactly? So, you find out that I didn't walk up to anywhere and say, but my friends were like, yeah, you got me, but I was second guessing myself because I wasn't raised to think that there was anything out of music.
You could be a musician. Let me bring this closer.
Yes. So I wasn't raised to think that there was anything in music, because when you sing, my dad would be like, but my dad had moods. And his moods were depicted by the kind of music he played in the morning. I was telling the band at rehearsals yesterday. So the morning when you hear, that's Leo Sayer in the morning. He's getting ready, judgments. When my father plays Obey in the morning, there's trouble.
Yeah?
Yes. When he plays, or you hear kitty, 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 kira, kita, kira, kita, like that. So he was, most of the early music I learned or heard were from the things he did and he played. So that was the bedrock. And so it never occurred to me that anyone could make a living from music. It was way out. It was way out. But the reality on the street is completely different. It means you can make money from anything and from anywhere. So that's the reality of my accident. And, and that's where I found myself.
When you decided, was Popsy still alive when you decided to do music?
Yes, it was.
When he saw that you were doing music, did he know that he was the architect of your music?
He didn't know. And I didn't have the opportunity to tell him.
Oh.
I wish I did.
How did he react?
He didn't react. He didn't take it well.
Whoa.
So I had to remove his name from my name. Most people who knew me back then, when I used to go to a Ikoyi club, you know me as Akin Williams. Yes, you know me as Akin Tofomowo. When you're looking for an identity, you're trying to find your voice, and you're like, nope. And I remember there was a time I met with him, and he's like, no, I didn't send you to go and don't. Somebody was even saying they saw you at one party. And I was like, they saw you, he did well, oh my Lord. And he said he told them off because my father won't waste time to tell you. And he said, no, That's not what I sent you to do. You go and do what I asked you to do. If you like, be as successful as, and that's who he is, very principled. And we'll miss him, but he laid the bedrock for most of the things that we do now.
So you didn't have, you were not the son of that judge whose friends were giving jobs because he was pushing you. He just practically did not want you to do it.
No, he didn't want me to do it. He didn't want to be part of it.
Did he ever see you sing?
No, he never did. But they used to tell him, or someone said they saw you on network news. He didn't like it. It didn't go down well with him because the pedestal where he was at that time, he didn't speak well.
But why did you stick at it?
Because I knew there was something there. I couldn't explain it. Years ago as a child, I think I was in SS3 or so. I used to have these dreams and I'll see, concerts and stuff like that. Well, all the things you are seeing now. Yes, I was seeing them. Camcorders. I didn't know camcorders at that time.
Wow.
So, and there were so many unanswered questions for me. So I knew I was going somewhere. I was just trusting. I was trusting in the process. I didn't know what it was, but I had trust. It wasn't even about faith in God, but trust that God was taking me somewhere. Where he was taking me, I didn't know.
But when you started, because this was the same question I asked A LEGAL BAND. For those of you who are like front runners, did it not look crazy to you? Did you not think, okay, it's just make I do it. When my head correct, I'll go do what I want.
Yeah, it looked crazy. It looked like it was like an abomination. Like big batting on bad bebo, lost on, so yeah, that kind
was
of thing.
Was Momsi alive?
Momsi was alive. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with me.
Even Momsi?
Nobody. I said nobody.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, oh, why, oh.
So when would you consider to be your breakthrough moment?
I think my breakthrough moment was when I decided that this is what I was going to do. As difficult as it was. But, funny was that God raised support for me. So along the line, there was always support. There was always that support. And then it was not a support that you went to subscribe for. It was not a support that you like, oh, I know this person.
It will just come.
It just comes. Because, how did I start singing at Royal Garden? I was with Uncle Chris Obaoye and they were all talking and the band was supposed to play. They have a band that plays at this place. And the band did not come. So there was only the guy on the piano. And I was a small boy amongst them. They were all big boys, And I was like, I can sing. And they all laughed. Chill out. So they continued with their talk. So I faced the guy playing the piano. I said, I can sing. I knew only one song then, Careless Whispers.
Okay.
And he was like, come and sing now. So, and I went, and that was the only song I knew.
Sing me Careless Whispers.
Time can never make the careless whispers of a good friend to the heart and mind. Ignorance is kind. There's no comfort in the truth. Pain is so hard to find. I'm never gonna dance again.
Hey.
The guilty feet, they've got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's that's one thing you do that drives me crazy. Now you've done an English song. I want you to choose a Yoruba song of your like Akinloye Tofomowo and sing it.
okay. Wọ́n lọ gbẹ́bọ sóríta mẹ́ta nítorí àwa. Babaláwo tí wọ́n gbójúlé ó ti ṣeré lọ sápẹ́lẹ̀.
Did you go for voice training?
Not until much later. Not until when yes, I never did. But I couldn't play any instrument. I didn't know anybody. I knew there was something there. What it was, I don't know. It was
Were you in a church band?
No.
Were you in a choir?
No.
So why music? That's what I still can't understand.
It was just the love for music. So at some point, I started seeing it as something I will go to. Because when I started making money from other sources, I was selling teak. So I was doing teak supplies. When I make money from there, I'll come and still sing with the band. Then I'll spray the band. So I didn't see that. I didn't know that they used to pay people to sing. So I thought that all they used to get was just spray them. And when they don't spray them, one down was your God near. So I started learning how to, when I followed, so where we used to, so I eventually started playing with our band at the Royal Garden. That band there.
Oh, that the leader did not come.
Yeah, so, and Uncle Chris was one, I followed them. So I'll go with Uncle Chris. Uncle Chris has an office there. He owns the place. He owns the band.
Wow.
So from there, that was how I met Elimbi, the guy who used to be Onyekawino's guitarist. You know, and he said, oh, he has an audition at Pinto's. And he took us to Pinto's. Of course, there was no promise of any money. He said it was an audition. We went, and he said he had gotten the job. And the next Friday we went there, after playing, they gave us chicken and chips. So I was like, so I wasn't coming with the intent that there was any money to make from it.
But the sprayers is our money.
Yeah, no, of course they will share it and all that. But so it was Uncle Shegun Obolu that said, there's something about the way you talk. Did you live in England? I said, no. He said, who are you? Then I told him my story. He said, so I'm going to mentor you.
Uncle Shegun Obolu.
Yeah, so he was Pintos then. So he took me away from the band. That caused the problem with the band. He said, I'm going to take you. So I usually meet with him in the afternoon at Pintos. He was an insurance broker. So when it's lunchtime, he'll ask me to come. I'll come. He'll give me songs. Go and work on this. Go and do this. Go and do that. And I'll come. Then when I'm rehearsing, I've rehearsed with the band. Rehearsed with the band. And he said, look, do they pay you? I said, pay. How? He said, I'll be paying you.
Wow.
So he started paying me separately from the band. It didn't go down well with Oscar and the band people and all that. And eventually he separated me from the band because what you see in SHUGA BAND now is what Pintos used to be. So you have the, what's it called? You have the board where you have all the names of people performing tonight, Friday. You have Neka, you have Chris Hannon, and then you have Akin on the board then, and of course the band. So people used to look forward to each performance. Yeah, like that. So that's the way, that created it. So, and at some point, and he told me, he said, I know. He said, when you're ready to leave, tell me.
Wow.
Yes. And so, gradually, and then eventually, I met with Laja, Ejiro, and then I started going to the island and all that. And I said, Uncle Shagun,
I want to.
It looks like I would have to go. He said, no. I said, this is your home. Wherever you go to, you must come back here. I said, no problem.
Were there hungry moments?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. A lot of hungry moments. And I know that for even when I started out on my own, it wasn't like all roses, because at some point, the rehearsals started getting in the way of the business I was doing to make money. But I was determined. I used to go and rehearse in Ikorodu with Black Jesus.
Ikorodu?
Yes. I remember the clinic.
And there were no roads then?
Oh, the roads were terrible. And there was something, I've forgotten the bus stop now.
Ogoloto?
Not Ogoloto, I can't remember where it was. So I'll go there a day before, I'll rehearse on the day. So I used to spend 3 days of every week on that. And I'll sleep on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, but I saw that there was something, because I used to see a reaction when I come on. So that kept me. And so when I started going out with Black Jesus, started doing BJs, and then the BJs was like, okay, why don't you come and do lunch and dinner for us? So I called the keyboardist from Pintos, and I'm like, this is a good opening. Would you like to work? So we did the first one. And then the second one, he wanted to sabotage it. I was like, no, the guys are not happy. I said, but this is just my own deal.
Which guys are not happy?
The guys in Pintos. So that because it was now working with me, it was a big problem. So he had to please them. So I said, okay. So after a while, that fizzled. So Black Jesus used to do last Friday of every month or so in BJ's, Then you had Adeniji to Heavy Wind.
Adeniji.
Yeah, so, yes, and all that. So after a while, I saw that there was a following from the Black American community and all that. That was the love. I saw the Beaches woman, she really encouraged me and her children, and that's how I met the Johnsons. So I started meeting people. I didn't know what I was creating. I didn't know I was creating awareness. I didn't know I'd moved from awareness to acquiring my own fan base, from that to people now wanting me to do their gigs and stuff like that. So it just went on like play. And then, of course, we ended up at the outside in. And then from the outside in, I worked with AJ Road. And from the outside in, we ended up Why Not, and then the Caribbean Grotto. And that the Grotto was the last of those lounges, because I think it was just time to move away from all that and move to the next level.
But all this while,
yes,
you didn't see the need to go home and say, okay, Emad Bino, let me do what you want.
No.
Was it out of stubbornness or out of the desire to prove everybody wrong?
No, it was just self-realization. I realized that the only legacy that God had given them to do was to bring me to this world. The rest was in his hands. And then the manual he had handed to me, all I needed to do was learn how to access the manual. And when I did, it was just a matter of time to be able to get to the page where he says, okay, you can now start making money from this. That's all. So it's always been there. But most of the time as parents, we want to be in every part of it. But our actual role is like, get this plane there, deliver the goods. That's all. And then guide. And then at a point, you let go.
But is there anything, looking back now, is there anything you learned from that strong man, your popsy, that is like the center point of your life that has kept you going and strong?
Yes. You must have a standpoint. You can't be everything. You can't be everywhere. You can't have all the opinions. You must have irresolute. You must be somewhere. If you don't stand for something, you stand for everything. So I chose to stand for something, and that's what I always do. So it looks like I'm insatiable. I'm actually very insatiable in the sense that I'm always like looking for the next. What's next? Okay, this is conquered. What's next? What's more? What can there be? Can there be this? So there's a resoluteness and an understanding of the awareness of who I am. So my self-realization did not say I am Benga Adenka. It says I am Akinloye Tofomowo. And then, okay, I got into being artistic and I said I wanted to be Akin Sugar.
Where did the sugar come from?
Okay, so that sugar came from, I was going to play at Ibadan.
Okay.
For Olumide Akimokun. The deal was actually for Saminido.
Yes.
So, God rest his soul. Olumide, we were Saminido's boys. It was our Oga. Even though we were age mates and everything. But it was like the Entolajuju in that area. The Ogbo. So, and then Olumide came to meet Sammy for a gig in Ibadan. And of course, Sammy was big then. So, and we're like, Sammy, how's this? I said we should go and meet Olumide now. So we ran after Olumide. I said, we can do this thing. And he looked at us like, where are you at this?
I won't get out to work with you.
He said, Ele Sherewa now. And like Ele Sherewa, like you guys, to be nice to have you guys around, come. And I was like, we'll go. I was like, the guy doesn't believe in us. I said, nobody will believe in you. I said, let's go. The day we were going, we almost had an accident. But eventually we got to Ibadan, because I couldn't drive and it was the one that drove.
Hey!
So we drove like that to Ibadan. So when we got to Ibadan, he said, okay, Treasure's band was playing. And Treasure's was like, the ultimate in Ibadan, and, and then they took a break. So when they took a break, they just announced, okay, these two guys are going to fill in Akin and Laja. And everybody left the
equipment.
No, everybody left the hall. They lounge to outside to go and get
fresh air.
And come back when Treasures comes back on.
Jesus.
I was like, Laja, forget. So we started. So we just started seeing them.
Looking.
They started coming back one by one. So then there was now an uproar outside that there was a bet that they were not the person singing. It wasn't somebody singing. It was
a DJ.
It was a DJ or something they were playing. And so the people who were betting, the guy who was betting that day is my friend till today, Blow.
Oh, I know Blow.
So that was how Blow and I,
Oh, Blow made money or lost money?
He made money.
Whoa.
Yes, and so that was how, so Olumide was like, okay, looks like there's something there. So can you guys be coming every Sunday? Of course, the pay wasn't, there's no cocoa because, of course, my mom had a hotel in Ibadan, so accommodation was not going to be a problem. And of course, it would give us food and all that. But we're not hungry then, no. There was no money involved. But Olumide had something, and it was like, he took us everywhere. So he started saying something in us, and it was like, hey, you want to see Adunbi oyin àbí kí láti ẹ̀fẹ́ pè ẹ́ ìwọ omi ló kàn máa ń mú tiẹ̀ so àwọ̀ orúkọ kan fún ẹ ìwọ sugar ìwọ gàrí ìwọ. That was how the name Sugar came. And then because when you're looking for an identity, you keep working with all sorts, and then until you're able to find something that sticks and fits. So that was how it came about. I mean, it was instrumental.
Sugar.
Yeah.
So when you're in entertainment, you hear a lot of things. In fact, sometimes I just get tired. What's that thing you have heard said about you that even you shock?
I've heard things like that if your client has booked you and they hear Sugar, they will cancel you. And I'm like, how is that bad? They say, what ten you?
What ten you?
What ten you? That's how people come and meet me and be like,
sure. Leave this thing.
Leave this matter.
All of us.
And I'm like, no, yes, you need to upskill as well. You need to, because initially it was a hobby. It was a joke. And then, my wife encouraged me to go to Berkeley. And going to Berkeley changed the dynamics of everything we were doing. Yes, because going to Berkeley, I met the guy who used to be in Cameo. And so John Kellogg. And John Kellogg read my profile and he said, I'm interested in you. And so I met him. I said, you were in Cameo? He said, yes. He told me he was in Cameo and he's now a professor. I was like, wow. And he said, the first thing you must learn that you're in a band is that the show will start and the show would end.
Say that again.
That the show would start and the show would end. So he said back then, he used to tell guys that, look, yes, we're it now, we're world famous, but at some point, the show will end. I'm like, no, come on, friend. So you can still be relevant in the circuit without being a nuisance. Yes.
So apart from this sugar thing, the SHUGA Band, and boy, you guys are mad.
Which I.
Hey, what other things do you do? Because I want to be like you. All I have to do is just play music, kill the lost one. What else do you do?
I've fallen into a couple of things. Some I'd like to
keep to yourself.
Yes. And I'm just a very easygoing guy. I'm just that guy at your party.
How did you meet Madam?
Okay, so I went for an event at VGC. And then she came with Emeka, one of our guys. They came to the event. They were there. And I was like, oh, nice girl. And I was in a hurry to leave the event. So I told my brother to help me get her number. So, and he did. And he sent me her number. By the time I called her, she had left the event. And we talked from VGC till she got home.
Wow.
The first day we met.
Wow.
Yes. And we started off as friends, and hey, the rest, like they say, is history.
And Okay, let me just say this. I know she's watching. One of the people that brought structure to my business is your wife. I'm sure even you don't know. I, I, at a point, I realized that we were not doing things right. We were doing events, but we were not making money. People would book us, people will book us. When we finish, they'll refuse to pay, or we forget to collect money. And I sat down with her and I discussed that. See, I have these and these and issues. She said, oh, you must do this, you must have a trail, an email trail, you must send your invoice. Once you talk, you must do this, you must do that. And that was like the changing point for me. Because once anybody calls me, I say, okay, please, what do I say? Send me your email. Let me communicate, what do you call it to you? So that brought structure, brought organization,
Corporate structure.
and I can
governance.
never ever stop thanking her for that. Now, how are the children?
They're fine. She's my blessing.
Hmm.
So she's my blessing.
You got ambassadorship
Yes.
of
Rotary.
the Rotary International. How did that come?
I mean, of course, we've always had our own foundation, the Sugar Limb Foundation, and Rotary. It was just like you're looking for, you want to do something, and then you find somebody who is willing to, partner with you or be with you or understands what you want to do. I think basically that's how it happened. And of course, Henry Akinloye was very instrumental to it and, encouraged us. And we went as far as Canada, with them. We recorded the I Can Walk song, pro bono, for them and all that with the support of Cobams as well. So that it's another aspect of my life, something I can't wish away. It's something that's there with me. It's going to be there with me till the day I go. So it's a part of my life.
At what point in your life did you realize that polio was not a disability?
Well, I've never seen polio as a disability. It was never a hindrance because I can't even remember anything that hindered me or challenged me as a child. I mean, in the neighborhood, I was the go-to goalkeeper.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I couldn't say, okay, I wanted to be in the 100 meters race. That'll be daunting now. So yeah, but outside of all that, I didn't see anything because the way my father raised me in particular, like, look, whoever pities you, whoever is pitying you hates you. We had shadows, crazy. I'd be like, there's gardener, there's cook, why are you sending me all this kind of
Alaye,
but they were talking to my son. I mean, when you just said Alaye now, I just remembered my wife. My wife would say, Alaye, when she's talking to my son, no, Benny, just, So, I mean, then for kids, you think it's punishment, but you just realize that, okay, now you can cook, you can take care of yourself, you're not dependent on
anybody.
Yes, you can sort things out by yourself. So my father taught me independence. My father taught me savings. He imbued it. My father taught me prayers. I learned how to pray with Psalms from being in primary 5. It was important that, So we started with the Psalm 23, 91, like that, 24. So there are Psalms that if I sleep, it says, you're going to need this along the way.
Now look at the party circuits.
Yes.
From when you started.
Yeah.
To now.
Yes.
What has changed? What needs to change?
Well, it's not about what needs to change, but you will remember and you always know that change is constant. So it's not about what needs to change. Change will come. There will be change. Change would always come. So, because as people evolve, I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. And so I can't enforce lifestyle. I can only move with lifestyle. So it means that if you look at the psychography of your niche, okay, maybe say they're in the range of 35 to 75. Now, somebody with 75 in 10 years, they're 85. In 20 years, they're 95. Their lifestyle will change. So you find out that for you to be able to serve a totally different niche, you need to update or upskill or add. What are the things that you have added to keep retooling to be able to serve people who come into that niche? Because as it is now, there are people who are aspirational. They're not there yet. They haven't entered that bracket, but they're going to come there at some point. And so when they get there, how are you hoping to serve them? You can't serve them with what you served 20 years ago. You're going to serve them predominantly more of things that they can relate with from now. So that's basically it. Nothing is okay. There are more parties now, and there are more party venues, and of course there are more bands. But of course, how well do those bands understand what their niches is, where they need to face? I mean, I'm not going to pick up. If you go to Ikeja bus stop and say Akin Sugar, probably nobody knows me there. That's the truth. But you won't walk into some places. If I mention some names, I'm like, oh, you go to an Adenuga's home and I say Akin Sugar. Oh, of course,
that
yeah.
guy.
Or you go to a Femi Otedela, you say, of course. Or you go to Aliko Dangote, of course. Or you go to Jim Ovia, or you go to Goodluck Jonathan, or you go to Obasanjo. So that is the niche. So
you can't do everything.
No, I can't. So I'm flying first class, and you're asking me to go right. No, I'm going to go left. So that's it. So you find out that somebody who is in first class or business class has no business with premium economy. Doesn't even know who flew there. So it's the same thing.
So what has been your most embarrassing moment in this business?
Most embarrassing moment for me was when somebody said, what about from party about King call you ba? And he said it in full public when Komama Soyimbo. Okay, yeah, that was when I was starting out. So, yes. So because then I used to get all these guys who sing Yoruba to come and sing, and then they start creating their own problems as well. Because they don't have an ownership mentality and they don't understand business. They come with the Illyria attitude and the chairman attitude, and they think that when people make money, and then the money should just go, just put the money there, walk out, get drunk, do this. I mean, kill it with your stupid lifestyle. So, and then my wife and I decided that, you know what? She be Yoruba.
No, call me Yoruba now.
I just call Yoruba. So one day, we had called one of them. I allowed him. He came. Then I did all the Yoruba songs.
Fantastic.
And he was looking at me. The ones that usually I'll be like,
go ahead. He was just backing up.
He was just there. In fact, at some point, he went to sit down. So he came to me and said, okay, it's a good goal.
Hey.
Like that, so so because start hearing things like, if it's not me, I'm like, if it's not you, like what? I'm giving you a platform now, stupid you. Yes. I mean, this is just part of, it's just the ewedu in the restaurant.
Meal.
Yes. It's a 5-star restaurant now. And you're asking for ewedu. We can kick it off our menu. So I mean, that's the way it is. So, and of course, there's so many of them who have bands now. I remember there was one particular one who at some point, was really getting funny with me. And he went to a client, and the client called me. And the client was like, oh, there's a guy here, and he says, he used to be with SHUGA BAND. I said, I can't remember him. And I said, are you looking for a juju band? She said, no. Why did you say that? I said, because it's juju that used to come and sing. I said, no, I don't want juju. I heard that time. Whoa, my law.
So that's why it's good to always live wherever you are in good terms.
Yes.
So that when you need a reference,
yes,
that person. I remember somebody came here today. We had a live band here today who I asked, okay, if you were having a party, who would you call? He mentioned Obe, he mentioned Sonny, he mentioned you. I think he said he had worked with SB. He mentioned SB. And he spoke so much about SB. I was wondering, wow. That means that if they call SB about this guy, they will definitely say good things about him,
It should.
But our people do not know that when you leave a place, you have to leave the opportunity for you to look back when the need arises. For your clients, have you ever gotten in trouble with any of them? As in, okay, you have an event, something happens, and you can't make the event.
Well, there would always be, I mean, life happens.
Mm.
I mean, COVID happened to all of us. But then when it comes to business, you must learn the business etiquette, things that need to be done. Of course, you can't, there will always be somebody who's not happy about certain things, and things happen. Like COVID. I mean, COVID took everybody by surprise, but most of the clients we had were just coming back, except for some very difficult ones. I'm like, okay, we have, remember, we had this book, so let's look for how to, because life happened. It was beyond all of us.
All of us.
All of us. So, I mean, that I think is usually the major, was like the high point of it all, because we try as much as possible to tidy up. We have a process, and we'll try to keep by that process. People might feel disgruntled, but as much as possible, even with our legal team has a saying, and they'll be like, they'll prefer mediation. They'll prefer that we talk it out rather than it degenerates to
going to court,
to litigation, and all kinds of things. So we try to keep it as tidy as possible.
Okay, well, I never thought of asking this question before, but I always, now that I know it has happened to people, I always ask, has a client ever slapped you before?
No.
So you don't belong to that select group?
No.
It's that select group of people being slapped. What's his name? Basotaria Jr. Let me tell you a story. He said one day as MC, he got to an event. He just saw the father of the bride coming towards him. Where's the band? I said, where's the band? Loud! Where's the band? Loud! The groom said, no! It's not the band! It's not the band! I said, and you allowed me to slap you like that? He said water was just coming out of his eyes. Icebox told me that one guy wanted to, that he had taken about 4 bottles of champagne. I was advising that, please, he was asking for the future. I said, take it easy. That the guy landed him. Who are you? Who do you think you are?
Wow.
So nobody has landed you before?
No, never.
Nobody has done, who are you? Do you know me?
You hear that, it's okay. Some people have expectation that when they come to other people's parties and they're holding money, maybe they say, they should call my name or something. And the client has given you express instructions and they don't want anybody's name to mention. So they say it's arrogance. Now, solid ignorance. He's not aware. So it's breeding solid confidence. So it's just pure ignorance. My role, my duty is bound by the
contract you have with the other man.
Yeah. So, but you want to come and, and then some people, I think it's hard, disrespectful to come to somebody's party and you find them there, you live there, and you ask the band to be, be calling my name, and all that. So, and then they'll tell you, you're arrogant. You didn't call me. So who does he think he is?
So have you ever been accused of having an affair with any of your female band members?
Well, not to my face.
Not to your face, but you hear it in the background of the background.
Yeah. Don't be, he has a liking for this, he has a liking for that, and all that. Because I try to treat my people as family. But you also know that you don't want to get sunken into whatever problems anyone is going through. So you want to be careful, as to how you get involved. So people, anyone can say whatever they want.
Anybody. Ọmọ ti wọ town.
Ọmọ wa ti jẹun lọ.
Ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa sọ lọ. Orí yín ni o. Ẹ máa kọ́ lọ. So that's
okay. So let me. You've been here practically all day. Let me thank you for your patience. Let me thank you for your support for my brand over the years.
Oh, Baba.
And let me take you on a trip. We have a game we call the GCON Charade.
Okay.
I have 5 questions here.
Okay.
I want to describe all these 5 items on my list. People, person, products. Before the sand runs all the way to the other side.
Okay, in the hourglass.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
1, 2, 3, go. She's a Yoruba actress. She lives in Lekki. Do you know her? She's very vocal.
Yabo Ojo.
Good. His mother is an actress, but he said she sells a cup. He sang it in one of his songs. Ori Yami Eleko. Don't let it go. You can go. You can go next.
Small doctor or something.
No, you can go next.
I can't remember.
Okay, you say pass.
Pass.
He contested for the governor of Lagos State, and his payoff was he's okay.
JK. Jimmy Agbaje, yes. Please.
This man owns the largest church in Africa, I think. He has a university. He's very big on prosperity preaching.
Bishop Oyedepo.
This product is not iPhone. It's not Nokia. It is
an Infinix.
It is Samsung. Okay, so you got 4 out of 5. Yeah. And to reward you for a job well done, we'll give you, because you are sugar, we'll give you sweets. 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
And because we called you and you came,
okay,
let's give you one more to make it 5.
Okay.
Come on,
thank you so much for having me.
So finally, where do you see the SHUGA Band in the next couple of years? Do you train? What are your plans?
We have so many plans. Mentoring, guiding, and managing. It's the MGM. It's the next level for us. And because a lot of people want to go into entertainment, they want to go into music, they don't even know where to start. So we're looking at so many angles to it. And there are a couple of older things that are related to entertainment. There's the use of technology, adapting to all that. How does that come into play? APIs, applications, all kinds of things are happening now. Are we going to be left behind? No. So it's 25 years of the SHUGA Band this year.
Whoa.
And in 25...
Are we expecting a gig?
Well...
A mad gig like we had...
5 years ago. 20th. Well, it's in the works.
Okay, let's go.
It's in the works. So it's a new dawn. It's a milestone. And of course, we're going to use that to also, start bringing a lot of things into the fore.
Activate so many other things.
Yes.
I want to thank you again. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you. And from my boss, the GCON, it's my pleasure to hand this over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you like that picture.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
We appreciate you. We thank you for your...
Wow, thank you so much.
For your magnanimity.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of Akin Sugar. I call him Dan Sugar, but don't keep anything bottled up. Jojo, talk, gist, make the world a better place. See you some other time.